Hey, Ouroboros gamers. Chris chilling in the studio today as I'm doing some painting, and I just wanted to take a second and talk about the tournament that I had this past weekend at Jupiter Games in Johnson City, New York. Wanted to take a second and talk about something that I've been thinking about for a long time, and that is when you don't do good at a game or a tournament or something. Something that's been weighing on my heart really about it, and that is that how players handle that kind of thing. And really blessed in this community to have a really good player base. Something that I've remarked in person at the people at the event, things like that, where we all get frustrated at the game. It's just a simple fact of the matter, And anytime that someone's competitive at something, in my opinion, there's a chance for frustration, and people do get frustrated. I was very frustrated. It's gonna be open right up front about my dice rolling. It's something that isn't controllable, really. I mean, we can all sit there and talk about how to roll dice or the way you roll dice and stuff like that. And I've had conversations with people about that. Hey, you should roll your dice like this, or hey, you should roll your dice like that. And at the end of the day, it's statistical chance for dice rolls. And the big thing I want to talk about is I brought my Dark Angels out. For those in the area, you know who I am, what I bring. I have virtually every army. Ha ha ha. But the truth of the matter is that my Dark Angels are one of the few armies I really like to play. I love the how they are in the tabletop, even if I hate them in canon. Uh, and I just like how they operate in theory from the codex to the table. And so I had a pretty solid list. I brought the new Phobos Marines, had the snipers, the suppressors, the troop choice squad there. I primarily play with Primaris for my Dark Angels, except for the characters. They haven't Primarisized yet, like Marnius Kelgar. So I'm looking to see if and when the Dark Angels get that treatment. We'll see. And so I went to the tournament. It was 1,850 points. Huge shout out and thank you to Jupiter Games for hosting, and the awesome staff on hand. Thank you, Brian, Matt Way, Mindy, everybody there. Love you all, and let's just go from there. So 1850, had a pretty really good first game. And actually, this first game is why I'm making this video. Huge shout out to Sarah. Sarah, thank you for a really good game and also a really cool eye opener. Sarah plays Tyranids, and she's been dabbling in Genestealer Call Tyranids. We have a affectionate name for her gaunts called Gun Raptors. If you've seen it on the Facebook shout out, stuff like that, or if you're in the area. So Sarah's gaunts are called Gun Raptors, and she was brilliant in this first game. Her and I know she talks to other people, but her and I were talking about the kind of list she should bring, kind of thing, and I told her that she asked if she should bring a horde list to the tournaments, and I said, heck yeah, you should. Like, why? And this was the cool first part, which was she was like, well, I want people to enjoy the games with me. And I'm like, that's really cool. Anyone who knows me here in the area knows that that's my big primary concern, is making sure that people have a good time, that we all realize it's a game, and while there is a competitive nature to it, it's still a game. So that was really cool to hear from her. And then, secondly, during this game, it was a really close game. She won 17-15 at the end of the game. Her Tyranids beat my Dark Angel successor chapter called the Angels of the Covenant. And it was a great game. And, then I went on and I played, for those on my Instagram, Studios Ouroboros, I played Slaanesh, played by Bobby, who is one of my newer friends / opponents that just absolutely trounces me for the most part. I'm talking Bobby. So I walked into that. Now, for those who know me, they know that I've been trying to really come back into the tournament circuit, the competitive circuit, try to be better, try to play harder, bring harder lists. Because, like I said, my main concern at the end of the day, and when I'm playing or when I'm out somewhere, is making sure that a player, new, veteran, or whatever, is having a good time. Because I know what it's like to be absolutely frustrated at the dice or with the way the game's turning out, and it just sucks. We've all been there, except for one person, Matt McLean. Uh, so at the end of the day, that, like I said, that is my main concern. So I walk into game two, and I absolutely get, just shellacked. And so it puts me in a horrible mood. So then I'm looking on Facebook, and Sarah puts a shot out that she had a great day, she enjoyed herself, and she was sorry that players didn't have a good time, of which I am one, and probably the most vocal, if I'm being honest about it. And it really gave me a reality check. So huge shout out to Sarah and your Gun Raptors. And wanted to talk, like I said, about that. It's really weird to, as a player, I've been playing since 5th edition. When 5th edition dropped, that's when I was in. That's when my friends got me in. And I've played basically ever since. There was the dark times of Eldar in 6th and 7th that actually made me quit for a while. Just the particular people I was playing with just were too much, etc., etc. And I did stop for a while, barely played, if at all. And so I was thinking about it. Just want to take a stroll down memory lane here. That there are a lot of things that we control. Dice is not one of them. You can buy all kinds of different dice, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's a hobby. We're here to have fun. And I'm really looking forward to the future here. Attendance here is really looking up, really looking like it's going to grow this year, which is very exciting for both Ouroboros and for Jupiter Games. So I'm pretty excited about that. Weigh in below. Tell me what you guys feel, how you cope with having a bad game, bad games, bad dice rolls. What do you do? Let me know. Would love to talk about it. And so, have a good night, Ouroboros gamers.